You may regret buying a house this year. Okay, hear me out. I know you're saying to yourself, Persia, you're a real estate agent. Aren't you supposed to be telling me now is a great time to buy a house? Listen, if you're in the market for a house, now is the best time to buy because prices are going up, interest rates are going up, so you want to jump in. But let me tell you why you might regret buying a house in 2024. We're going to get into it right now. Welcome to my channel. You have come to the right place for all there is to know about living, working, playing, and thriving in the Baltimore metro region. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and you tap the bell for notifications so that you can be alerted whenever there is new content to the channel. Hi, my name is Persia and I'm a local Baltimore metro realtor, and every day I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you who are thinking about making a purchase or selling their home in the Baltimore metro region, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in the next 9 days or 90 days, please feel free to reach out to me and to my team. You can call us, text us, email us, we can set up a video call, and it would be our absolute pleasure to help you make a transition to Baltimore. One reason why you may regret buying a house in 2024 is because we are experiencing extremely low inventory in the Baltimore metro region and honestly in Maryland as a whole. What low inventory can mean for you as a buyer is the possibility of a bidding war. And bidding wars really are no fun. Because there are a limited number of houses on the market that are priced well for their condition and location, there may be more than just one person who wants to put an offer in on a home, which means bidding war. This can mean that folks are escalating above the asking price to get their offer accepted above all the others. In bidding wars, people do crazy things in order to win the deal. One of those things is called an appraisal gap, which means even if the home under appraises, they are willing to pay the difference. So let's say that a house is listed at $350,000, but you really want to win the house, so you offer $380,000. Your offer is accepted, but the home only appraises at $350,000, its original list price. That means you are willing to make up that difference of $30,000 in cash, right? Because the bank is not going to finance it. And so appraisal gaps are very common right now in a bidding war scenario, and a lot of buyers are using them in order to win out over the competition. Another thing people are doing is waiving inspections, meaning that as part of their offer, they are saying that they're not planning to have a home inspection whatsoever. Now, would I ever recommend my client do that? No. Have I had clients who really want to do that in order to get their offer accepted? Yes. So it really depends on how badly you want the house. Do I recommend it? I do not. But it is something that people do in order to beat out the competition. Now, in addition to the fact that there's really low inventory, interest rates are another reason that you might regret buying a home in 2024. Now, at the beginning of the year, all of us were super hopeful. We had heard from the Federal Reserve that interest rates would be dropping several times over this year. However, we haven't really seen that be the case. They did drop below 7%, but now we're back at between 7% and 7.5%, somewhere in there is what I'm seeing my clients get. So we haven't gotten the, big relief from high interest rates that we were hoping to get. Now, of course, there are things you can do like buy points, or you can refinance once rates eventually go down, because they will eventually, I think, go down lower than where they are now. So you always can talk to a lender about what options that you have. But for now, they're at 7.5%. And that does mean that you are going to have a higher monthly payment on your mortgage. Okay, the third reason that you might regret buying a house in 2024 is there's always that risk of overpaying, right? When you are in a situation with bidding wars, with everybody bidding $100,000, $150,000 over asking price, and that's happening even in Baltimore. I had a listing that had over 20 offers and it ended up being sold for almost $100,000 over asking price. You might ask yourself, am I overpaying for this house? Now, if you have a job and you're able to stay in your house for about 5 to 7 years, chances are that you're good, that, whatever fluctuations in the market will stabilize, and in a normal market, you can expect a rate of return between 4 and 5%-ish every year. And so, if you're able to stay in the home, you will recoup what you have put into it and likely haven't overpaid. The good news is the housing market always rebounds and it's always a good investment. It's just that it's not the type of market where you want to get in and maybe make a quick flip of money, be in the house only 2 or 3 years and think that you're going to make a profit. That's likely not happening in this market unless you get some kind of really crazy good deal, buy something off market. But in normal circumstances for on-market properties, that's not going to fly. Okay, and the last reason that you might regret buying a house in 2024 has to do with the NAR Settlement, the National Association of Realtors Settlement. And unless you've been hiding under a rock, you've heard about this and maybe you understand it, maybe you don't. I've been hearing from a lot of my clients when I have buyer consultations and they're asking me, what does this settlement mean for me? Historically, home sellers have paid both sides of the transaction when it comes to representation. They've paid for the listing agent who lists their house for sale, and they also pay the buyer's agent, the person who is bringing the buyer and who is representing them in all of the transactional details, the home inspection, negotiations, all of that, the buyer's agent. There was a settlement which basically now says that here in Maryland, middle of August 17th, buyer compensation will no longer be advertised as part of the MLS. Before, a buyer's agent was able to go into the MLS and see how much compensation they were being offered. What this settlement changes is that now you don't see that on the MLS. It does not, however, mean that sellers are no longer paying a buyer's agent commission. Sellers can still do that, and in my opinion, I think many sellers will, because they understand the importance of a buyer's agent. They understand that having access to a buyer's agent will make the transaction super smooth and will likely get their home sold quicker and for more money. So in my opinion, I don't think that this settlement is going to change too much. I think that it's going to, in some cases, mean that things change. But in the majority of cases, I think that buyer's compensation will still be offered. Now, is there a possibility that this may mean that more buyers have to compensate their agent? It's possible, but I know for my clients, that's always a transparent conversation that we have. We discuss compensation in the buyer consultation, and we'll know upfront any compensation that's being offered or not offered, and it's a conversation that we will have. It is important to know that this does change how showings work. You will have to have a signed buyer representation agreement in order to have a house showing with a real estate agent. So gone are the days when you can call Zillow and meet some random agent at a house. Every buyer client who is being shown a house by a buyer's agent will have to have a signed buyer representation agreement. In my opinion, that's a really good thing, right? Because it makes sure that everybody's on the same page. All upfront discussions have been had. Everybody's clear on roles and compensation, how everything works. So for me, I think this transparency is a really good thing. There may be some sellers out there who, because of this change, feel like they don't want to represent a buyer's agent. And so just in case, it might be a good idea to keep in the back of your mind that you might want to put aside some money just in case you have to compensate a buyer's agent. It's always something to plan for, and you always want to be prepared for the worst case scenario, not always just for the best case scenario. In this scenario, with these changes and, with buyer representation being featured and possibly buyers having to compensate their agents, it's really important that you have a real estate agent who shows her value. We are not just there to open doors for you. We are giving analysis of comps in the area. We're giving you information about neighborhoods. We are making sure that you have protection and understand appraisals and home inspection results, and that's everything we do. We give you, qualified contractors. That's our job. So we are more than just door openers. So in this situation, it's important that you are choosing a buyer's agent that you feel confident with and that you know will have your back and have your best interest at heart. Now, what can you do if you're not planning on buying right now? Maybe 2024 is not your year. You're thinking about a year, 2 years from now. What can you do to get prepared? The first and most important important thing to do is to pay down your debt. When a mortgage lender looks up your information, they're going to see your debt to income ratio, and that's what they're going to use to determine how much home you can afford. So credit card debt, car loans, student loans, all of that impact how much money you can borrow. So paying down debt, especially credit card debt, is going to be a really good first option for where to start if you're thinking about making a home purchase sometime in the future. The next is to save as much money as you can for your down payment and closing costs. Your down payment could be as low as 3%. You could want to put down 20%. That's up to you. Closing costs are generally between 3 and 4% of the purchase price of a home. So it's important that you have cash on hand to be able to cover these costs. You can look into different financial instruments like a high yield savings account or a CD to make sure that you are putting your money to work as best as it can. Well, there you have it, 4 reasons why you might regret buying a home in 2024. Remember, if you are thinking about making a move to the Baltimore metro area, please reach out to me, to my team. We would absolutely love to help you. You can call us, text us, email us. We can set up a video call, and it would be our pleasure to help you. If you are in a different location and you need a referral because you're looking for a real estate agent in your state, also please reach out. I have a network of agents who do an amazing job all across the USA, so I'm happy to help with that as well, and I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!